Right, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Psychosin project here on Total Metal Radio, and joining me over Skype, it's Jill. Michelle in Hell, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Hi, Ronnie.
No problem at all. Now, you've obviously just played the first of two reunion shows that you've sort of had booked this past weekend. How did that go?
It went really, really well. I mean, I don't think I could. Well, I definitely can't put into words, and we haven't really had time to come down from the experience. I get goosebumps just thinking about it right now. I mean, the whole experience for me was, I want to tear up talking about it. I can't even put it into words. It was really wonderful. The people that came out were great. The city of Asheville was amazing, and had all this hesitation and nerves come into play, but the minute we stepped on stage together, it's like the whole world just disappeared like it always did before.
Well, as you said wonderful. There, obviously the nerves and all that kicking in. What was it like to play all those songs for the first time in, it's got to be, a good 15 years since the last album?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even touched the guitar in over 5 years, probably closer to 10 years. It was, I think I was away from the songs long enough to where they were fun to play again.
Yeah, because if I remember right, you taught them quite heavily the first time. Sorry, I don't mean to keep talking over you there. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, and not for nothing, but they say it's like riding a bike, and it really was like riding a bike with them. I mean, we definitely have chemistry, and I think we were all really relying on that chemistry to still be there.
Yeah.
And it was. And so it was very much like riding a bike. I mean, we've never played a perfect set in our lives. Never really tried to play a perfect set. We just wanted to have fun, and we just kept we played it the way we wanted to play it. And it wasn't perfect, but it was real, and it was us.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, I don't think anyone wants, if you do play a perfect set, then some people might feel they might as well have just stayed at home and listened to the CDs. Whereas if you play an imperfect set, it's more sort of an experience to see you live, and a better experience, in my personal opinion. So,
I mean, I always said that what we do, especially what Jessica does, is, and what we all do in our own ways, we tell stories, we tell emotions. Yeah. And sometimes the emotions could just be two notes on a guitar, but that's what I'm feeling. It expresses my part of the story that we're telling together. We never wrote songs, for people to like or for them to be perfect. They can be messy, they can be angry, they can be a little bit different every time, and that's okay. We've never put ourselves in that box of being something that we're not. I mean, I'll be honest, there was a few moments where we went, fuck, like, they've been listening to this album, which is crazy in itself that people are still listening to our stuff.
Yeah.
But okay, we've got to do this right. And then we just got to a point where we said, no, they're going to get the real Jack Off Jill experience.
Yeah. We
go out there and do our thing, and because otherwise they're not getting the real thing. If you're not getting the real thing, what's the point?
Yeah, obviously. Now, how long was the idea to reform the band in the pipeline, and what was it about now? Why did you choose now to reform the band, as it were?
Ooh, pipeline. I'd say, I mean, Tim and I have talked about it off and on throughout the years, and throughout the years occasionally hooking up with Jessica and talking about it. But realistically, logistically and I think more so emotionally than logistically, because obviously we figured out the logistics of it.
Yeah.
I think emotionally we weren't ready to go down that road again. So I think the actual hard planning for this came when Tenny, we have an ongoing Facebook message that we've been doing for quite some time with the three of us, just reconnecting and chatting, and just nice to get to know your friends again. And one day Tenny posted a picture. Tenny lives in Asheville, North Carolina.
Right.
I live in Denmark, and Jessica lives in Los Angeles, and Helen lives in Los Angeles. So Tenny posted let me back up a little bit. She stopped at a gas station to go pee.
Yeah.
When she went into the gas station, there was this weird, almost like a Jack Off Jill shrine with this old picture and Monopoly money and a My Little Pony all posted up on the door. So Tenny went to the attendant and said, what's up with, what is that? And she said, well, that's the owner's 16-year-old daughter. She did that. Okay, and then Tenny thought, well, that's just weird. So she took a picture and sent it to us, and we laughed. And we all three of us at the very same time said, that's our sign. And it's so silly that, I mean, we've had offers to do things, I mean, legitimate offers to do things, and we say, that's our sign right there. That My Little Pony hanging on a wall in some little tiny gas station town. So that started it, and that was last year. I don't even remember. I know it was before Christmas. I'm so bad with time.
That's fine. I'm the same. Don't worry.
It's been quite a while. I mean, it was before we found out that Babes in Toyland was doing their reunion. So I don't know how long that's been in the works. Or L7. Like, we were like, fuck. We were on our way back. Now we're just gonna get locked in with everybody else, which is fine because we love them, totally love them. But it was just weird because it's like everybody, we all shared this synergy at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously you've come back at the same time that Cold Chamber have just released a new album. Would have never called that they were coming back, to be honest with you.
Exactly. But that's the thing. It's almost like there's this, I can't explain it. Like, I just thought that we were having a midlife crisis. But there's this synergy where all of these people, we were all back in the day together, and even if we knew each other or didn't, there's something happening in music, and it's bizarre.
Yeah.
I really have an explanation for it.
I mean, I personally grew up with yourselves, Korn, Cold Chamber and all that, so getting all these bands coming back is amazing for me, because some of them I didn't get to see the first time round. So
exactly.
I am more than happy that this has happened. Now,
it's bizarre. I mean, wow, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the weird thing is, with Jack Off Jill, they're one of the more fondly remembered bands from... You kind of got lumped in with nu metal, which was a little bit unfortunate for you in the end. But you're one of the bands that's more fondly remembered because you had that unique sound throughout the entire career. And especially here in the UK, everyone, I mean, unfortunately didn't get as big as you deserved, but here in the UK, everyone I speak to, I've not met one single person who doesn't like at least one Jack Off Jill song. So...
I gotta tell you, that blows my mind. I mean, for the writing of Clear Heart's Grey Flowers, when we were in LA, I mean, Jessica and I were in a little studio apartment, literally eating ramen noodles or instant mashed potatoes with canned vegetables. We only had a microwave.
Yeah.
So it was just that. I mean, we get a per diem thing, but we got it once a month, and we go out to Sizzler once a month, and we were broke. And that was living good, because before that, when we go on tour, we were sleeping in our vans. We really hit the road. We sacrificed, we drove, we played shows, we climbed in the van, we slept, and we got up and did it again. We never thought that our music was actually, I mean, we wanted to. We were that group that was on the road, wanted to get on the road, but I never in my wildest dreams thought that I'd be speaking to somebody in the UK right now at my age. It's just blowing my mind.
I mean, it, unfortunately, your albums over here weren't very easy to get hold of, which also didn't help. It took me a fair while to find your very first album, the Sexless Demons and Scars album. It took me about 2 years to find that, and when I did, I didn't even care that it was going to cost me I think it was about £17 or £20 at the time. I just put the money down and went, yep, I've got to have that album. So, and I loved it all the way through. Obviously, at that time I already had Clear Hearts and Grey Flowers, so...
That's another point. I mean, I'm not to be a bitter old musician, but the fact of the matter is the music we made, the records that were released through Risk Records, 404 Music Group, all of those things, we've never seen a dime of it. Not one dime. And it's crazy when I think about it. Sometimes I go, wow, I wonder how many albums we've actually sold. I mean, now we have internet and a lot of free music, and I think that's great, because the truth is the artists don't end up with the money anyway.
Yeah.
I think, damn, So I love that there's free music out there now, because the artists never got the money for the albums anyway. I mean, our story's not the only story like that. It's a very common story in the music industry. And it's sad because, you get these bands that really burn for it, and then you just, you get the financial stress, or you're just hungry, and then any, small problems get blown up into big problems. Yeah, that's just, the industry. You know how it is.
Yeah,
I
mean,
it's crazy.
It's got to the point... since, obviously you got the big hitters like Korn and that, who did get massive in the early 2000s, but since then the music industry has really died off, and people just aren't selling as well as they used to. So really, you can only do music now if you know it's got to be a struggle and you're in it purely for the music and not just to make some money.
Yeah, I think you're breaking up, buddy.
All right, now, can you hear me now? Is that right?
There you go.
There we go. As saying, I mean, the music industry now, as compared to the early 2000s, it's dying a death. It's really.
I'm not so sure if it really is dying or if it's getting a new life. I mean, for me, a music lover, I love that I can go online and I have access to so much music. I mean, you're talking about the death of rock stars for sure. Like, it's not the same. We're so saturated with music. But as far as a music lover, I love it. And as a musician, I think it's great that somebody could make an album, put it up on iTunes, and maybe they sell it and they make $50 or $1,000 or $50,000. Because realistically, that's more than they're probably going to get with a record deal, statistically.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the problem is record industries record labels, I should say, haven't properly adapted to the way the whole internet has gone. And that's what's not helping.
No, it's not good for them. It's not healthy for them. But you know what? Screw them. They've been screwing artists for years. So, but I think it's great because I love music. I love that I can go online. You go on YouTube and you hear one song, and then 10 clicks later, you're listening to something that you don't even know where it came from, and it's just fantastic. And I love it. As a music lover, I think free music, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling that obviously with YouTube, you've got your video up there for My Cat, along with some of your albums have been, like, obviously some tracks have been uploaded as well. YouTube and that has probably helped increase the lasting legacy of Jack Off Jill's music as well.
Yeah.
So.
Are you kidding? Yeah. If those crazy people didn't make those bazillion videos with Jack Off Jill songs, we wouldn't be here right now. I mean, the truth is, it's our, I hate to use the word fan base. It's the people who listen to us and support us. They're the reason that we're even able to do this show right now. And if we didn't have that free exchange, we most certainly wouldn't be right here right now.
Yeah.
It's them. They kept the torch burning.
Now, as I said at the beginning of the interview, you've just done the one-off gig in America. I've completely forgotten what city it was. My mind went blank.
We did it. It's a little town. I mean, when I say a little town, it's a little town in North Carolina.
Yeah.
A lot of people gave us shit. They said, "What are you doing?" We said, "We want to do it there because it's a great club. Yeah. We're doing this for ourselves, and not for nothing. If we can get people into North Carolina, then they're removing themselves from their world and they're coming into our world.
Yeah.
And then we're going to create this weekend where it's just our world, and it's people who, like us, were freaks or on the outside at one time or didn't fit in, and we flooded that city with 1,000 people that were just like us."
Now, sorry, no, go on, continue.
What? Come again?
Sorry, you speaking. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. You're in the middle of saying something.
No, it's okay. I'm surprised I'm still talking. The idea was to bring them into our world and our experience because, it's one thing to play a show, but it's another thing to want to share this experience with them. And I think the only way we could really do that was to bring them out of their element, away from their jobs, away from family, away from everyday things so that they could come into our world.
Yeah.
And I felt it. And the minute we stepped on stage, the energy, the whole weekend, the energy was just insane meeting all the people. But when we stepped on stage, that entire room was just filled with like this one, I'm not a goofy hippie, but it was like this big connection through the entire crowd. I've never experienced anything like that in my life. But that wouldn't have happened, I don't think, if we hadn't done it there and on our own terms. But now we did it there, and it went really well. So, as we said we're only going to do one show. We'll take it one at a time. But man, that was so much fun. We're doing it again.
Yeah, I was actually about to mention this. You've just announced literally about 2-3 hours ago on your Facebook page that you've booked the Electric Ballroom in London in October, which I've got to do everything I can to be there myself.
Yes.
Now, what was? Are there any plans at the moment to maybe book other concerts, other gigs, or will that be the last one for now?
We really meant it, and this crazy thing happened this week. A promoter had one of our pictures that we had recently taken, and wanted us to do the show for a while. And we said, let's talk after the first show because right now we're overwhelmed. But yes, we would love to play Electric Ballroom. It's on my list of things that I'd like to do in my life. So but let's take it after. And all of a sudden, this friggin' poster shows up, like the day after we finished up there in Asheville. And I said, oh, fuck. And then the fan reaction was really great. We pulled it down as quickly as we could because we didn't have a contract negotiated, nothing. Yeah. We yanked it down, but the response was so good that we took a meeting. We said, what, guys, this went really good, and it's not the way we want to do it. We'd rather have time to plan it out a little better, but, a grenade just went off. We're either going to bandage up and move on, or we're going to die right here. So we decided, fuck it, let's try to get the contract pushed through. Let's try to get the budget. Let's find out what we need to do to get over there. And I've been up for 2 days. I've slept 2 hours in 2 days, but we just finished literally 10 minutes before I posted that on Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you post about the one-off gig in America, I had lots of people who listen to my show who are here in the UK, as well as a lot of my friends who have been listening to you since the album's come out. They all said to me, oh, do you know if they're doing a UK show? I was like, I haven't got a clue at the moment. We can't argue that.
Yeah, I mean, we have a Facebook group for the people that were coming to the show, and there's a lot of other people on it. And we really have been very honest about this whole process. Yeah. To not have that they don't have unrealistic expectations on us, and we are really taking it one show at a time. I mean, smart girls would plan out 10 shows in a row. Yeah. I know that. But we're also, it's just on our terms. And right now it's one show. I can tell you we would like to play some more shows. Yeah. For sure. We'd like to get to Japan. We have some other places around the world we'd like to get to. But I think for us, it's almost like shocked, that we actually sold out in Asheville, North Carolina, and we just had this fantastic weekend. And the idea that now we're going to friggin' London, like everything we always talked about when we were younger, it's mind-blowing a bit. And so to think to book 10 shows, it's almost too much to process in the brain that there's that many people that would actually want to see us.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe that's part of it.
Now, going back to when the band was first active, do you feel that the band never quite got the attention it deserved when you was first around?
Oh, hell no. No. I mean, we get out of our van in some little hick town or wherever in northern Florida, some terrible club. It was just, it'd be like 4 people, and there were people that had gone there after work for drinks, and they're still there. I mean, no, we didn't get the attention. I mean, we did lucky. I mean, the Manson connection definitely got us started down there. It gave us a big leg up. Yeah. And when we did shows together, that was great. But, when you get out there on your own, you got to work for it. That's the one thing I think that's missing in the music industry now. The bands, they don't want to work for it. Not all bands, but a lot of them, they think it is just as easy as recording an album, and it just happens. It doesn't. You got to get your ass in the van.
Yeah,
the car, whatever you have to.
Got to spread the word about your band by doing as many gigs as possible when you're first starting.
Yeah, I mean, you go to a town and you've got 10 people the first time. Next time you go, you've got 30 people because they've brought friends, and and it grows from there. And to me, the live show was always the most important. I always dreaded the recording anyway because it was almost like we have to put a solid form onto something that we're always kind of constantly changing. So for me, the live shows were everything, and to let them be organic, and it didn't really matter if it was 30 people. We always made a party. We always had a good time. Well, maybe not always, but...
But you try to, in the most part.
Yeah. You got to make the most of it. I mean, it's hard. It's fucking hard to get in a van with 3 other girls and drive somewhere and set up gear and play and break it down and sleep in your van because you don't have a cell phone and you got lost and you have no idea where you're going. We didn't have cell phones back in that day.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's more than one time that we were just fucking lost and the roads got dark and we just couldn't drive anymore, so we just sleep in the van. Wake up in the morning, go about our business. Yeah. But, I mean, looking back on them, there's such good times, though. It was good experience.
Now, over the course of your career, obviously, as you mentioned yourself, you had the Marilyn Manson connection, which I'll quickly explain to people. When you were touring with Marilyn Manson when he was still Marilyn Manson and the Spooky Kids, wasn't you?
Yeah, it was, and he was just a local band just as we were. I mean, they were doing pretty well locally, but just a local band.
Yeah, obviously, Manson went on to become something phenomenally huge because he got better record label backing and everything. However, do you feel that over the years of the first sort of time that the band was around, do you feel that the Manson connection ended up hurting you more than helping you?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm probably one of the last people in this world that doesn't have any ill feelings against him. I know. I mean, we've always gotten along just fine. But musically, the comparisons and that Marilyn Manson shaped us and formed us, and yeah, he came in the studio and produced some stuff, but he had nothing to do with the image that we were creating. As a matter of fact, a lot of times it was the other way around. Jessica would come up with these ideas, or I brought a cowboy hat, and everybody said I was an idiot. You can't wear a black cowboy hat, and then he gets a friggin' video with a black cowboy hat. I mean, and, with Jessica's ex, Twiggy, I went to school with Twiggy. Jordy and I, we've known each other since high school. And he did a complete transformation. And, a lot of the ideas, a lot of what they were doing, I guess it's natural when you're hanging out together and rehearsing right next to each other that you kind of like roommates that start to share clothes and create this image together.
Yeah.
And that was fine, but he took off and he had more money to buy makeup and shit, and, we didn't. We were still dragging the same old shit around. So yeah, it definitely did, because musically we were our own people. We weren't influenced by him. He had absolutely nothing to do with our music.
No, because you were both sort of touring together at the same time, so you both had same influence. Personally, I don't know why people said Manson helped shape your sound, because to me, you sound like nothing he's ever done. And it's ironic that people say he shaped your sound when most of Manson's sound, i.e. the albums that got him that big, were because of Trent Reznor shaping his sound. So.
Exactly. Well, the band, I mean, let's face it, there's no new chords. None of us are going to come up with any new chords. No. There's only so many chords on the guitar, so many chords on the bass. We mix them around and we make something that sounds good, but I don't even know what my point was. I'm just carrying on.
No, that's fine. I mean, it's like...
My point was that we have influences, and I think our influences are always going to show in our music, and nobody's fucking original. No, you just can't be realistic about it.
It's like the old saying, all the like really good rock riffs and metal riffs have already been played by Black Sabbath. So
exactly. And I gotta tell you, Black Sabbath changed my life. The first time I heard them, I didn't even know that music could sound like that. And I know when I was before we started to rehearse and play again, I listened to the songs, and I was like, I can actually hear the Black Sabbath influence on a lot of my songs.
Yeah. Which
I didn't realize at the time. But wow, man, I mean, Lolly Rot is shifting around from that chorus to that crazy bridge. For sure, hands down, Black Sabbath is the band that had the most influence on me musically.
Yeah.
Guitar-wise.
Now, which of the two Jack Off Jill albums do you feel best represents the band nowadays?
Neither.
No?
Nowadays, neither. I mean, they're both fun. I mean, Sexless Demons and Scars, they're fun songs to play. They're quirky, they're poppy, 3-chord, 2-chord sometimes. They're fun in that way, and they're just expression, and they're just young girls kind of getting it out. Yeah. And Clear Hearts came out of blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
When we were in LA writing that album, I don't even know how we got out of that alive. I mean, really, everything just turned upside down and ripped apart. But I think you can hear that in the album. You can hear it in the songs.
Yeah.
That album captured that moment in time so very perfectly for us. And it hurt. God, it hurt.
Also, on that album, Jessica changed her vocal sound on that album. 'Cause it sounds, her singing on that album, it sounds pretty different.
Say that one more time, I'm sorry, hon.
Yeah, no, it's alright, it might be Skype screwing up, so...
I'm losing you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Well, no,
hello?
A little bit, now. Come back to me. Come back, I can hear you a little bit.
Hello?
You did it!
Excellent, I did do a thing, but anyway... but yeah, what I'm saying is... between albums, Jessica seemed to change how her vocals sounded as well. Because on Clear Hearts, Grey Flowers, she's got a completely different vocal sound to how she did on Sexless Demons and Scars. Sort of a more mature sounding, not to what's the word? Not to seem. I can't think of English now. This is good, isn't it?
Okay.
Oh,
I got it all night.
And not seem like I'm putting down her vocal style is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, there's a huge difference. But I think I know just for me, I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for her.
Yeah.
But for me, during the course of writing that album, I had already quit the band. I had returned to the band to go out to LA with them to write the album.
Yeah.
And it was emotional. And it's almost like we got trapped in this bubble. And this just weird shit kept happening, and this darkness overcame us, and it was almost like taking a ride through hell together.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to put it. I mean, when I say that I don't know how we were both, Jessica and I, are still alive, I really mean that, because it was fucking intense. And that was one of my hesitations with coming back, is that we do have that chemistry. We all have that chemistry together, but sometimes too much chemistry is combustible.
Yeah.
And last time, that was my biggest hesitation, was the chemistry. If we could do this again without destroying ourselves.
Yeah.
And, well, so far so good,
Well, as you said earlier, you're taking it one gig at a time, but have you spoken about any possible plans to make another album? Because obviously I know Jessica's busy as well with Scarling. On top of this.
Honestly, we haven't even spoken about it for 2 seconds. We joked about it like, oh fuck, are they going to expect us to play a new song? And that could have been fun. I mean, but the songs happen organically with us. No, we've not even mentioned that at all. I know Jessica's I think she's going into the recording studio with Scarling. Don't quote me wrong. I want to say like November, maybe, or September. So I know she'll shift gears and she'll focus on that. And that's great. I mean, I can't wait for a new Scarling album to come out. I love Scarling.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but no, at this time, no. But you know what? We're really being honest with each other that we take it one show at a time, one thing at a time. And as long as the four of us, are okay with each other, then we'll keep doing it. And as long as people want us in cities, we'll keep doing it. And the minute that it becomes not fun, or the minute we see that we're starting to catch ourselves on fire, then we stop, because our friendship is the motivating factor for doing this, our connection that we have, our love that we have for each other. So right now, there's no end to it, but no, we honestly haven't spoken about recording any new songs. I think we're all feeling the itch to express this emotion, because obviously we're creating these new emotions together, and maybe we start to feel the need to put that down in song. It happens organically. At least nowadays, it's real easy to get in to record something.
Yeah, yeah.
So I wouldn't say that it won't happen. There's a very good chance it does, but we honestly have not spoke about it.
So basically, there's a possibility, but nothing's concrete right now.
Yeah, I mean, the the magic's good. The truth is, we haven't had 5 minutes of rehearsal time to just screw around. It's been boom, 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 go, 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 off, and we're going here or going there. If we had 2 hours in a room with no pressure on us, we write a song, because that's what we do. And great thing about working with Tenny and Jessica, and Helen's awesome. Helen has dropped right in and just fits so perfectly. She's a hell of a bass player. And three of us already have the chemistry that if we're going to write a song, it happens in 5 minutes. Like we play it first time and it's there, or it's not. We don't work on songs. We don't add things to songs. It happens organically, and it happens literally in 5 minutes. I don't think we've ever spent more than maybe 15 minutes writing out a song.
Yeah.
Even on Clearheart, the songs, because they're organic, and when they're there, they're there.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't take us long. To write a new album, but just don't have the time right now.
Yeah, that's perfectly understandable. Obviously, however, as you said, you write songs rather quickly, but it's come out with some real classics. Like My Cat is well known by pretty much everyone in the metal community.
Let's be honest, that wasn't there, but let's be honest, that wasn't real hard to put together. So, 3 chords, not real complicated. Poof, I'm done. I wrote a song, but it's a fun song.
It is. I think it's, to put it in a sort of in one way, it's probably your biggest and most well-known song to an extent.
Yeah. Actually, no. I think Strawberry Gashes is by far our most popular song from everything that we can see and figure out, with My Cat second.
Right.
Which is interesting. It's those 2 songs because they're so very different.
Yeah, they are generally the 2 songs I get requested to play, or I end up playing on the show anyway. So.
But I'm so glad we're playing old stuff like French Kiss the Elderly and some of these old songs. Actually, I think when we play French Kiss the Elderly, that song just, it grabs all of us and just rips us every time. And it doesn't matter if we play that song 10,000 times. That song, for some reason, grabs us. And Swollen is another one. Very basic song, but fuck it, the emotion in it. I don't ever get tired of playing those songs. Love them.
Excellent. Now, how do you feel that the general reaction to the news about the band, obviously reforming and doing the one-off gigs, has been? I'm going to start with the positive, which is we've got an incredible group of people that are following us. I mean, we just had 1,000 people travel. Some of them traveled all the way from the UK, Canada, Colorado, 25 hours in a car. Some of them came by kayak and horseback. I mean, they just really made the journey. How can we not feel positive? I think the reaction's been really good. There's always the people that want to say, hey, why aren't you coming to Florida? Why not LA or New York? And we say, you know what, one show at a time. These people really try. To an extent, this interview already kind of answers their questions to that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we were really honest about booking the one show, and since we announced the first show, we did get offers for the tour festivals and some of the tours that were happening leading up to summer. And we made the decision inside the band that, no, we promised the people that are listening to us, the people that want to come see us, that this was special and this was a show we were doing. So we've turned everything down and we kept it special. You know, this isn't about money. This isn't about anybody else. It's about us. And now, after seeing the reaction that we had this past weekend, it's definitely about all of them as well. And this connection that we had this weird connection, like when we had these events on Friday and Sunday where we actually went out and had drinks and walked around the bar and everyone was there and there was wasn't uncomfortable. We were all just hanging out. There was no starstruck weirdness or anything like that. It's just it was kind of like going to a really big family reunion. And if it's going to be like that in every city, oh man, I'm there, because that was fun. Now, what can people such as myself who have unfortunately never seen yourselves live, what can we expect from the UK show? Well, not for nothing, there's about a zillion videotapes up on YouTube right now from Saturday's show. We did record it, so we will have a professional DVD coming out, but that'll come out when we're ready, and right now it's just kind of got to go on the back burner just for a little bit. And I can't tell you what happens at the UK show. I mean, we're going to play some songs. Other than that, I mean, we got over our nerves. We got into our comfort zone with the first song. So really, anything could happen in the UK. You never know with the Chekhov Jill show, and that's the great thing about it. We just kind of let shit happen. So that's making me need to come along even more now. Now with I think we all did really well, and we all felt okay about what we did on stage. And I know our confidence level is going to be so much more. I mean, the crowd has just taken us and lifted us onto this high that you just want to bring everything onto the stage and not leave it. And so I think the next show. Now, I'm not saying the show wasn't good, and we did our very best for all the people that were there. We did our show. We were in it, but I can only see our shows escalating. Because that's how we do it. Our energy builds, and it just escalates and escalates until somebody has to go to the hospital. Usually, usually not me, but anything could happen. But that's the great thing about Jack Off Jill is no expectations and no rules and. Well, just anything's okay. It's the whole unpredictability of it that makes it a Jack Off Jill show. Yeah, I mean, if we planned all that shit out, well, that'd be boring. It's like professional wrestling, you know. And I think people can tell when you do that. I think it's obvious when you do that. You just want to go with the whole organic flow of the show while just play it. The only thing you have planned is obviously what songs you're going to play, and that's it. Exactly. I mean, it can be beautiful, it can be ugly, it can be anything it wants to be as long as it's real and it's us on stage sharing that moment and now sharing that moment with so many new faces and so many new people. Can't go wrong with that. But I have no idea what could happen over there. I don't know. I have to probably look into some of your laws and things like that. Make sure nobody goes to jail. That might not be a bad idea. Yeah, we've been there, done that. Now, with how music is now, do you hear the influence of Jack Off Jill's unique sound in any modern bands?
Ooh. I did hear a band, I don't even know the name, it's a band that my son was listening to.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 years or so ago. But I definitely heard it. Actually, he brought it to me. He said, listen to this band. It sounds a lot like Jack Off Joe. I can't remember the name of it, though. But no, I don't hear much. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't listen to a lot of that kind of music.
Right.
I like a lot of heavy metal. I like a lot of country music, classical. I'm very all over the place. So as far as keeping up with the new bands, if I find them on YouTube or stumble on them, great. But I don't go out looking for albums or follow the online things or anything like that.
That's absolutely understandable.
But if we're talking about new bands that are amazing, we had this band open up for us on Saturday.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man. Those girls are a powerhouse. And actually, I'm going to name them because the energy that they have together, sound-wise, not so much like Jack Off Jill, but the energy that the three of them have together and the chemistry they have, their live show, amazing.
Yep, go for it. Name them because I'll have to look them up and start playing on my show.
So much fun. I mean, I would love to play more shows with them. Like, I don't know what ends up happening with this with the show over in London, but if we can find a way to pay to get them over there, I would love to bring them over so you guys can see them, because a band hasn't excited me in quite some time, but their live show, amazing.
And what's the name of the band? It sort of started cutting out then on Skype.
Sorry, no, it's called like Kitten Forever.
Right, I'll have to look them up. And,
yeah, dude, I know they've got some videos and stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
They were a lot of fun. It's really a lot of fun because they're just being themselves.
Yeah.
They remind me a lot of us in the younger days where we're just doing our thing, being ourselves. No rules. They don't even have a guitar player. But it's amazing. Awesome. Yeah, and they all switch around and play instruments. A lot of fun. Check them out. They're a really fun band.
Excellent. I mean,
so if all goes well, it would be really... I shouldn't be opening my big mouth because we don't have any money to do this, and I don't know how we'll figure it out, but I would love to bring them over with, and so that other people could actually get exposed to them, because I just think they're great.
Excellent. Well, as you have very graciously recommended a band to me and my listeners, I'm going to recommend a band to yourself. In the UK, they're called Hearts Under Fire.
Hearts Under Fire.
Hearts Under Fire. I don't know how clearly that come through the mic then.
Hearts Under Fire.
Yep. They've got a couple of videos on YouTube. They're from the UK. They're currently unsigned, but they're touring as much as they can. They're a bit kind of a pop punky band, but they are very kind of unique in their sound. I seen them live about 3 times. Saw them last Saturday in London, funny enough, and absolutely amazing live. If you need support bands, I know they would be more than happy to do that for you as well.
I'm going to write Hearts Under Fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're on Facebook as well, so...
We just finished the contract, like I said, 5-10 minutes before I posted that shit. I've been up for 2 nights and we've been working on this, pulling it together.
Yeah.
So we haven't gotten to that stage yet, but that'll come in the next few days for sure. Yeah. I'll keep them in mind. We've got the whole night, just us as of right now.
Yeah.
And I imagine we'll turn it into some kind of a party or some... Just party's such a horrible word. more of an event type thing, you know?
Yeah.
When it wants to just get up there and play a show, it has to be fun. It has to be a little interactive, because we find that entertaining.
So turn it into something like the band Killing Joke does, where they turn it into a bit of a tribal gathering stroke party for their gigs.
Yeah, It's just fun. And you'll see. I mean, if you come to the show in the UK, I mean, I don't know what the people listening there, what their response will be, but I know here. It was just mind-blowing. Like, everybody knows. It was almost like everybody knew each other. It really was like a friggin' family reunion.
Yeah. With
a bunch of freaks that are just freaks like us. So it'll be, either way, it'll be a good time. And Jessica, she's such a good party planner. She's going to make sure that it's planned out just perfect.
Excellent.
We'll have a good time.
Now, how would you describe the band's sound? Because I know you got called, back in the day, you were described as Wyatt Goff.
I lost you again, friend.
Is it waiting now? There we go.
You're back.
There we go. How would you describe the band's sound? Because back in the day you were described as Riot Goth. Do you feel that still stands, or?
That's a tricky question. I mean,
I know.
You're talking to
it's It's caught a lot of bands I've interviewed now.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking to me. Okay, if you look at our band, we all four have very, very different influences. Like mine musically, Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Hands down, for sure. Jessica, way different. I mean, I have a shaved head. I wore makeup and stuff, but I'm probably going to get a lot of shit for saying this, but I've never been goth a day in my life. Jessica, Tenny, they could define themselves. So in Riot, well, yeah, I can see the Riot again, the shaved head and the boots and everything. I guess I looked the part.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I never really identified with being a Riot girl or with being a goth. I never identified. I just like to sometimes dress up and do stuff. But I think that's a good thing about our fan base, a terrible word again, about the people that listen to our music. We're all different. And we've got moms whose kids listen to our music now. Yeah. Like at the show, we had mohawks and colored hair, and a lady in her 90s was there. It was insane, but it didn't matter. Like, and I think that's, actually, you know what, now that I think about it, the way we are with each other in the band, that I'm myself, and I don't need to define myself, and Jessica's way different than me, and Tenny's way different, and Helen's way different. And I guess maybe that radiates out into the people that we connect with, because they are all so friggin' different.
Yeah, you do have quite a varied fan base.
Yeah, so they're not all goth, they're not all Riot, they're not all metal. It's just a bunch of people that kind of don't fit in anywhere else, maybe, or that share this weird connection that they like Jack Off Jill music. But that's really, because that just hit me. I've always kind of struggled and thought, oh God, I hope nobody asks me about the Riot goth thing. I just wanted to ask you to comment on it. But now that I think about it, yeah, no, it's good, because it's totally a reflection of what the people listening to us are doing the same thing. We're all different, and that actually makes me feel a little better about myself.
Excellent. So, now, coming at the end of the interview now, so is there anything you would like to say to all your fans out there?
Oh, wow. Well, we love you, and I can't believe you crazy motherfuckers have kept this going for so long. Can I curse?
Yeah, it's absolutely no problem.
Okay, sorry. You guys are fantastic. I mean, there's no words to express our gratitude. And I don't want to sound too mushy, because I'm supposed to be a hard-ass bitch, but it really is you that's kept this torch burning. It's you that's making all of this happen. And we are taking it one show at a time, one thing at a time. We do have some plans. We do have our wish list of cities that we would like to go to, we've all agreed on. But we don't go until the time's right and until everything's worked out. But we hope to get around to more of you, and we really hope that you come out and see us at the Electric Ballroom. I think was it Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday the 21st of October.
It sucks it's a Wednesday, but come on.
Trust me, I'm sure people will make every effort possible to get there. Because
yeah, I hope so, because tickets on Saturday.
No, yeah, I think they go on sale tomorrow morning.
Yeah, tomorrow morning. Oh, I thought this was yeah, okay. Yeah, tomorrow morning. Yeah.
But yeah, I shall be there. I've already sorted out someone ordering my ticket for me. So
yeah, I mean, I'm so curious to see what happens when those tickets go on sale, because we watched the Asheville show go on sale, and within the first 10 seconds, 500 tickets went into the shopping basket, and we said, "Fuck." And then the system kind of froze up, and people put tickets into their shopping baskets, and then their cards didn't work, so the tickets went back onto resale. But the 500 tickets were gone immediately. So I'm curious. I can't. I'll be honest. I'm curious to see what happens.
See, that's now making me nervous if I can get a ticket.
I'll tell you, seconds. It took a couple of hours before actually everything got done bouncing around from the different cards back into the thing. But seconds, yeah, which was really cool. That was such a nice feeling. But my thing is, I hate scalpers. I hate them. And we did have scalpers. You can't help it. They're gonna get tickets.
Yeah.
But we were really lucky that we prepped everybody. We let everybody know what they could do to have 2 windows open to get the tickets. And I will say that most of the tickets went to people that wanted tickets. Yeah. Because they were awesome. They were on their computers, and they clicked go, and they cut most of the scalpers off. And kudos to them, and thank you guys for doing that, because we made the tickets cheap because we wanted them to be affordable to all of you. It has nothing to do with us not making more money. We didn't want you guys to get raped over the fucking coals for a $200 ticket that they paid $20 for.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the point. So we really hope everybody gets their tickets tomorrow. Don't quote me on it. I think we're probably going to do the golden tickets again. But that whole, not the pledge thing at this time. I think we're going to keep it real simple. Yeah. Just the show. Maybe a meet and greet with the golden tickets. And that's it. We'll bring some t-shirts and shit and see what happens.
I'm glad you said that. I was about to ask if you're going to have merch at the gig. Because I do need a Jack Off Jill shirt and hoodie, preferably.
Yeah, we've got, you know what? We need to make some damn hoodies. That's a really good idea. I'll let Jess know to get on that.
Yeah, I mean, got considering the date you're doing it over here, it will probably be getting to the point where we're freezing. So.
Hey, listen, I live in Denmark. I live in a hoodie. So, yeah, I would like a hoodie myself. It's a little chilly over there. So, yeah. You know what? I'll get her on that. Well, I can't get her on anything. She's the boss, but I'll certainly mention it to her that we need some hoodies.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, Michelle, well, thank you very much for joining me tonight on the show.
Thank you so very much for having me. This is my first solo radio interview, and you've been very kind to me. You're kind, and we'll see you soon. We'll see you very soon, actually.
Indeed, you will. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Michelle in Hell, guitarist of Jack Off Jill.